Metaparadigm, the environment. Florence Nightingale is really the first nursing theorist that gave a lot of thought or started writing about the environment. As we know, she kind of got her claim to fame, if you will, during her service as a nurse in the Crimean War. She clearly saw that the environment had a huge impact on the way the soldiers were healing and being taken care of during that time. She had a very broad definition of what the environment was, and she really took into account not only the external factors of where these soldiers were located, but really internal factors too within them that would help create healing. She stated that nature alone cures. If the environment was out of balance, the patient's energy must go first to restoring balance rather than healing. So I don't know that she was really a proponent of feng shui or anything like that, but really focusing on the environment and balance. She had 5 components of her environment that she was really looking at and paying attention to. And surprisingly, they still are very much a part of the nursing care that we give today. So again, making sure that there's proper ventilation, that we have good airflow to our patients, that they are in a space with lots of natural light as much as possible, that we're providing them the warmth that they need. Again, we know from basic thermodynamics that keeping your patients warm so they're not having to use their own body energy sometimes to do that can be helpful. There is an article that I've posted, The Clatter of the Hospital Room. There's many articles, if you just Google that title, that you'll find talking about the noise around our patients and how important that is. And then she had this 5th component, effluvia, which is kind of the odors or secretions or discharges. Again, if we could think back to the Crimean War, I'm sure it was a quite unpleasant smelling environment, perhaps with the amputations that might have been happening, gangrene, those sort of things. And so for her to even be aware that, the malodorous smells around the patients would be affecting them and causing them distress. Here are some of her quotes on the environment. A patient's bed should always be in the latest spot in the room, and he should be able to see out of the window. Nursing is the act of utilizing the environment of the patient to assist him in his recovery. It is the unqualified result of all my experience with the sick that, second only to their need for fresh air, is their need of light, and after that, a closed room. What hurts them most is a dark room, and that is not only light but direct sunlight that they want. The first possibility of rural cleanliness lies in the water supply. Keep calm and love, Florence Nightingale. The environment in our healthcare today, again, we need to keep in mind these 5 different components as we're caring for our patients. And I want you just to kind of give a little bit of thought to the environment in which you practice. Maybe you're in the emergency room, a nursing home, a med-surg floor, a primary care office, a PACU. How is the environment in which you work friendly to your patients? How do you guys do as far as sound management? How do you do as far as offering comfort to your patients? Really providing them with all those different kind of sensory components that they want and need. I had the benefit of working for a Adventist hospital out in Colorado, and 2 things that I remember vividly about them was part of their vision was to extend the healing hand of Christ. And that has stuck with me all these years. And to me, that's just a powerful imagery, to extend the healing hand of Christ to our patients that we were caring for. And secondly, they had such a profound focus on the environment in which they were putting their patients in. And they had built these beautiful hospitals as a hospital system. Again, as I said, this was located in Colorado, and they strategically placed this hospital that all hospital rooms faced the mountains, and they would have these huge glass atriums, and you would walk in, there would be vegetation, there might be a player piano that's playing kind of soft, peaceful music. It was just very idyllic setting to come into and feel like I'm in a safe, healing environment, one in which the hand of Christ is being extended to me. So not that all hospitals have the means to build such elaborate buildings, but the thought and attention that they put into the environment, I found amazing. As I mentioned, there is a posting or a link to the New York Times article entitled "The Clatter of the Hospital Room." Like I said, take some time to think about what noise is like in your own work environment. What attempts have you done to increase your HCAHPS scores, honestly, if you work in a hospital, of quiet at night? How do you help your patients get a good night's sleep while providing the care that you need to for them? I want you to think a little bit. If you were on an interdisciplinary team to address noise in your hospital or your facility, whatever that might be, what outcomes would you use to measure improvement? I threw out HCAHPS scores. Are there other things that you could think of how you would measure? We implemented this idea, and did it have any improvement on the overall noise level in our hospital? As you read that kind of quick New York Times article, what was your initial response? Standard 17, according to the ANA, is on environmental health. The registered nurse practices in an environmentally safe and healthy manner. Parts of this competency include that we promote a safe and healthy workplace and professional practice environment. We use environmental health concepts in our practice. We assess the environment to identify risk factors. We reduce environmental health risks to ourselves, our colleagues, and our healthcare consumers. We communicate information about environmental health risks and exposure reduction strategies. We advocate for the safe, judicious, and appropriate use and disposal of products in healthcare. We incorporate technologies to promote safe practice environments. We use products or treatments consistent with evidence-based practice to reduce environmental threats. And we participate in developing strategies to promote healthy communities and practice environments. Here is some information on the Luminary Project. This is Nurses Lighting the Way to Environmental Health. It's an effort to capture the illuminating stories of nurses' activities to improve human health by improving the health of the environment. So again, if you'd like to go to this website, www.theluminaryproject.org, you can find out more about that. This concludes my video for week 5. I hope you guys really enjoy watching Sick Around the World and really giving some thought to the environment that you yourself are in as a nurse, the care that you're able to give to your patients in whatever environment it is that you practice in. And then as our nation struggles with how do we deal with providing health care for all the people that live here, I really hope that this gives you a chance to kind of think through what can we do, how can we be creative, how can we be impactful. All right, enjoy your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.